The Mount is
Black History.
I am Renee Coker Grifin, and I've been at the Mount for over 60 years or so. My grandfather was a deacon here, my grandmother was a deaconess, and I just remember coming to church every Sunday, I guess from the age of 4 or 5 on up.
Well, I was married into the church. When my wife and I, when we got married, I started coming. So that was probably over 35 years ago. So I've been going for, over 35 years.
I remember my grandfather always saying, because on Sundays we would get up, go to Sunday school, and then stay for a regular service, and then we would have 7 o'clock service. Yes, evening service. And my grandmother, she would sometimes look at us and say, Sam, the kids got to go to school tomorrow. Just let them stay home, you know. And yes, we had Sunday school, and then we had regular service, and then we had evening service. So, yeah, my grandfather was a stickler. So, but those were fond memories. And as we got older, I remember my grandfather, my grandmother, even my mom and dad wanted to know what ministry we wanted to join, and that's when my sisters and I joined the number 2 choir. I mean, we've always been in a ministry at the Mount, and those were some good days. Yeah.
We decided to do this together. This is a family effort, and Renee's going to stand in for Ella Coker, my mother.
Oh, I didn't know that she was part of the gospel choir and the number 2 choir, and the combination of those choirs were like some 39 years, so that's telling you how old she is, right?
The number 2 choir, it was people from, I think we were called the number 2 choir because we had people of all ages in that. Because we had the number 2 choir, you had the senior choir, and then we did have a children's choir. But then the number 2 choir, I don't know how we got that name, but we had adults and teens in there. And so we were called the number 2 choir. We've always been a caring church, but now it's more evident, I believe, even more.
Yeah, I mean,
and I can see it.
It was Mount Lebanon Missionary Baptist Church. So it was always a missionary church.
Yes. Bales Mill was a city within itself. It didn't want for anything back in the day. I mean, we had the school, post office, stores, we had the farms, we had everything, fish market. Everything was a little city within itself.
Well, when they tore the church down, they asked, I don't know, I don't remember. I remember being out there, and I think...
you came down that day?
Yeah, I came down, when they were demolishing the church, and they told us, we want a brick. You have a brick. So I got a brick, and that's the brick of the original church, but we had a lot of fun there.
You remember the Sundays when we started growing? People would come.
We would put chairs. We had to put chairs out.
Had to put chairs out
in the aisle. Yeah.
In the aisles, and the men would have to get up and stand around.
Yep. To make room.
The sanctuary to make room.
Yep. And
I mean, we were bursting at the seams then.
Oh yeah. I mean, because the choir was jam-packed on top of that little pulpit.
It's amazing because Mount Lebanon was this little church that would sit around the corner. They would say, go down the street, around the bend, and you'll see it on the left-hand side. The little church. And we started with 50 families or more. I mean, you could look out in the sanctuary and see who was not at church. And Bishop would know who was not at church that Sunday, and he would inquire, why is so-and-so not at church?
Yeah.
So it's amazing to see.
He just about knew everybody there.
Yes, to see where we have come from. I remember growing up, going to church, sitting in the sanctuary with the windows up because we didn't have central air. With the stained glass windows raised, and we're sitting with fans. because it was so hot and have that cool breeze come in. And I remember during the winter, our black bellied stove, we would sit around in the sanctuary. I had to be 5 or 6. But I remember those days, and I remember when we were baptized, we had to go outside. We thought we were something then because we had a baptismal pool outside in the church in the back. And it was just a cement slab that slanted down and with water in it.
Yeah. And you would kind of walk down.
And you walk down in that cement slab outside.
Fill it up. And you would kind of walk, there's some stairs, and you would walk down the ramp.
Yeah, to get baptized.
Yeah.
So, and I remember revivals on Sunday, being in church all day, and then in the evening, the families would get together. And so much food from the hams, turkey, chicken, pies. Whew. Yeah. Yes. The mount is
Black history.